What's up everybody? Hope you're all doing well and welcome back to the channel. Now, in today's video, I actually have no idea what I'm going to be titling this video, but all I know is that we are going to be talking about Star Wars and mainly focusing on Star Wars Battlefront. I absolutely love this series, and as you can see in the gameplay in the background, I've been modding the 2005, the original Battlefront 2, and I've been having such a fun time just going back to this game. I used to play this game a lot as a kid, especially more so Battlefront 1, to be fair, but I have so many fun memories, and this game really made me fall in love with Star Wars more as a kid. I really liked the movies growing up as a kid. I think the first film I actually remember watching in cinema is Revenge of the Sith, and I remember just playing these games a lot as a kid. And my dad obviously loves Star Wars as well. So it was, I have some good memories for this game, a lot of nostalgia. And I played it mostly on the PlayStation 2. But the gameplay that you're seeing is on PC. And I think it's just like an offline, just like a, single player, instant action kind of thing. And obviously some mods. So I've actually remastered this game to have better graphics. I've also put some shaders on it, and it just looks amazing. Like, I'm really blown away by how efficient the modding community is, and how like just so much more like content in it. There's more characters I've got now. I've got like skins that weren't in the game originally, and just suit up like everything that's in the Disney Star Wars and stuff. We can get onto that later, but yeah, this mods that I have are just so fun and just really great. So if you have Star Wars Battlefront 2 on PC, I would highly recommend downloading it again and just getting some mods for it, because it's just so much fun. But the reason I've been going back to Star Wars Battlefront is just because recently, as some of you may be aware, is that Revenge of the Sith released in cinemas. I think it was like 20 years ago, which is just absolutely bananas to me. Like, I don't even think I can't believe it, because as I said, it's the first film that I remember watching in cinemas. I might even be wrong. I feel like it is. It's the first film I remember anyway, off the top of my head. And Revenge of the Sith is personally my favorite Star Wars film because I have so much nostalgia towards it. I love the originals. I don't like the sequels. And I don't care what anyone says. I like the prequels. I think the prequels are fun. And that's the whole point of watching a movie, is just to have fun and enjoy yourself. Or some movies, anyway, I guess. But Star Wars has just been one of those things in my life that has always been there, and I love it. The Disney Star Wars, however, let's just get onto Disney Star Wars. Okay, I'm not a racist bigot like some people want to say I am, because I just disagree with the direction that Disney has taken Star Wars, and I don't think they've completely killed it, but they are definitely doing everything in their way to try and kill the franchise. It feels like I didn't like Acolyte. There's a lot of Disney Plus shows that they made that I just did not really care for. I think the Obi-Wan Kenobi series was nowhere near as good as it should have been. If anything, it should have been a film that was released in cinemas. And man, I could just go on and on about Disney Star Wars. I've kind of pretty much just wiped the sequels from my mind, to be honest. I just don't really care for them at all. And Disney, like, what's it, the expanded universe? That's just nothing to do with Disney. I pretty much count that as canon now. I know that's probably not what I should be doing, but the stuff that was there before Disney is just so good. And actually, I don't want to shit on Disney too much. They actually have released some good things. I like The Mandalorian. I like Andor. I've seen a few episodes of that. I will be watching all of season 1 and 2. I did watch a few episodes of season 1, and I can tell it's just right up my alley. And I did like Rogue One. I thought Rogue One was pretty good. And of course, they carried on the Clone Wars. I basically, if you haven't already gathered, I like Star Wars. I actually have Darth Vader tattooed on my arm as well. So I guess I would say I'm a diehard Star Wars fan. It's just in recent years they've definitely killed my interest in the series as much. But going back to Star Wars Battlefront 2 just brings me back to like a simpler time where this game, you bought this game, you got the full package, you got everything included. There was no microtransactions. Like, when you just compare this game to the games that come out now, I mean, I know games are so much more expensive to make, but Jesus, like when you just see how much to get like a DLC costume or like an extent, another character or something. This game just came with it all, and that's one thing that I just really love about Star Wars Battlefront 2, the 2005 original copy. Let's move on to EA Star Wars, because a lot of people, and myself included, were very disappointed with what they really did to this series. And I want to say straight away, I think they're amazing games. I think EA did a really good job with these games. I think the games actually are very fun. The first EA Star Wars Battlefront game, however, very good, very promising. I was very excited for it, but there's hardly anything in the game. There's like two characters maybe and like two maps. It feels like I haven't played it in such a while, but I just remember that there is hardly anything to the game. And then I think like maybe like 2 years down the road, they released Star Wars Battlefront 2. Now, There is a lot to say on this. I actually made a video when it originally came out because I was just so disgusted with EA's what they did to this game. And unfortunately, I feel like they just totally destroyed this game at launch, and it's never been able to truly recover. It has a little bit, but it's never where it should be. Admittedly, I put so many hours into Star Wars Battlefront 2, the EA version. I think I put like well over like 70 hours on PC and like well over 60, 70 hours on PS4. I loved the game. I thought the gameplay was fun. The graphics obviously are outstanding, and it was just a little bit of lack. There was a lack of content, admittedly, and eventually, they added a few more characters. I mean, the game's like nearly, I think it's like 8 years old now, something like that, off the top of my head. I think it was released in 2017. Obviously, now you buy the game; it's always on deal, the EA one, and you got the whole package. There's a lot of characters in there. Obviously, nowhere near as much content as in the original 2005 Battlefront. But my God, the gameplay is just so fun. The gameplay graphics look amazing. The heroes, the villains, the maps, the story. I mean, admittedly, I played the first two levels of the story when it first came out, and I never went back to it. So I actually have no idea about the campaign, and I just don't care, to be honest. But now just seeing like people are going back to Star Wars Battlefront 2, the EA one, just seeing how, understanding like, wow, this game had such potential. It genuinely could have been like one of the greatest games of all time. I'm not even exaggerating. I really do believe that because there's so many avenues they could have gone down. They could have just flooded the game with so many characters, so many maps, so many game modes, and there was just so much potential, man. It really is frustrating to see. But they went down the route of, I know they're a business, and obviously EA are just when you think of EA, they're just pure greed. At the time, I can't remember how bad it was, but I remember it was pretty bad. You had to like buy for getting like new skins and unlocking characters, or like you could unlock them, but it would be like a ridiculous amount of time to unlock one character. Like I don't even know. It was just so crazy, and it really killed the game at launch, and it's so unfortunate. As I said, I actually made a video discussing this when it first came out, and I would just remember I can't really say I'm too surprised because it's EA, but it still hurt a lot because obviously Star Wars is such a beloved IP franchise, and man, they really had the world. They could have really done such a good job with this game. And again, the game is so much fun, and it's just why would they go down this route? Surely the game made enough money, but I don't even know if it made money. I'm assuming it did, but yeah, I'm still happy to see that there's a lot of people now who are going back to the game or buying the game now because it's like £6 on Steam and just giving the game a go and having such a fun time. And I'm really happy to see that the servers are, being flooded with more players and people are just loving EA's Star Wars Battlefront 2. And now it brings the question as to will there ever be a Star Wars Battlefront 3? This game, I'm pretty sure, is cursed because it was actually done like a long time ago. I think it's supposed to be coming out on like the Xbox 360, and it was like 90% done, and they just decided to pull the plug. And yeah, you can't. Well, you can play it. You can actually play Star Wars Battlefront 3 on Star Wars Battlefront 2. It uses like assets from the Battlefront 3 that was never released, and you could like mod it into Battlefront 2, if that makes sense. If I might not even be correct, but you can play it. It's very buggy. You can actually emulate the game on like the Xbox 360 emulator. And there's a lot of people working hard just to try and bring the game to life because who knows? I mean, I can't say I have no insider knowledge whether it's going to happen or not. And it turns out EA and DICE actually did have the opportunity to make a Star Wars Battlefront 3, but it was actually rejected by EA. And I think it's just because of how high the licensing cost for the Star Wars was. And if they wanted to make a profit, they would need to make the game sell at least 20% more copies than any Battlefield title, which is just that's a huge amount of money. And to do that, it seems like a bit of a risk. Obviously, I'm sure they would have done a great job, but I would have just hoped that the lessons they learned from being greedy would have actually helped the game out in the long run. But I think EA and probably Dice are looking to more like have their own standalone IPs because I imagine Star Wars being able to use the IP must be a very expensive thing. But it's really good to see that fans have really taken the effort of trying to remake the game in any way, shape, or form through mods and just even adding content to both the 2005 and the 2017 copies of the game. Through like characters that weren't originally in the game and just having like the similar play sets to other characters that are in the game. And yeah, it's just really good to see, and I'm really glad to see that the community is still going strong. And I really hope that the eventually down the line we could see a Star Wars Battlefront 3. I think it's probably going to be pretty unlikely due to the high license costs and just how expensive games are to make. Because you look at 2017 Star Wars Battlefront 2. There's a lot of things you can say negatively about the EA and EA Star Wars games, but one thing you can't say is just the games look bad, because it's just not true. The games do look amazing. And it just really hurts me that the greed from EA really killed what could have been something truly amazing. And again, I know Star Wars Battlefront 2 is doing pretty well right now. But yeah, I don't think there will ever be a Star Wars Battlefront 3, unfortunately. Maybe down the road, but I think it'll be different developers, or it might just be another reboot if there ever was. I think it will be a very long time, and it's just very unfortunate to see the wasted potential that EA did with the Star Wars Battlefront IP or Star Wars IP. Greed unfortunately killed Star Wars Battlefront. So I personally don't think there will ever be a Battlefront 3. I think the only way we'll ever be able to play a Battlefront 3 is through mods and through emulation, and people genuinely, like fans, really going out of their way to try and make the game work. And yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Will Battlefront 3 ever happen? Let me know down in the comment section below. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit of a random one. I have no idea what I'm going to title it, but yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.